Synergy Theater and Freestyle Repertory Theater proudly present Right Away. It's a jam, it's a show, it's the best of both worlds. Please welcome your hosts for the evening, Michael Durkin and Lisa Gay Thompson.
Hello.
I'm in the dark as I usually am. Good evening, everybody. Hi, everybody. I am Mike Durkin. I am the executive.
Well, Mike is maybe he'll come right back. Let's just hope. My name is Lisa Gay Thompson. I'm a playwright in the Bay Area, and I'm just going to plow ahead, and Mike will join us when he can. Tonight's show, Right Away, is a co-production between Freestyle Repertory Theater in New York City and Synergy Theater in Walnut Creek, California, two companies divided by a continent, but united in the belief that improvisation is an important theatrical art form. This is a show about writing spontaneously, releasing your creative flow, connecting with and supporting other writers. It's about being open to the words that want to come out of your hand when you let your mind step to the side. Here's how the show works. We have 3 playwrights tonight who will have 45 minutes to write a brand spanking new play based on a suggestion from you, the audience. And while they're off writing, everyone in the audience, that's you, is invited to play some improv writing games. Hey, there he is.
I'm telling you. I tell you. First, if I just may say, spastic fingers. I have a problem with, I start tapping things and I go a little bit crazy when I do that. So I apologize to all of our friends here who are with us right now.
That's okay, Mike. We were just talking about what your fingers want to do when you let your mind get out of the way. So,
right. Well, that's good. That's good. Now I'm still desperately trying to figure out what's going on here.
Okay.
I think you got to keep moving, I think.
All right. Let me just keep plowing through, and then you'll pick up at the top of page 2.
All right.
All right. And while they're off writing, everyone in the audience, that's you, is invited to play some improv writing games with Mike and me. I think you'll want to use a paper and pencil so you can kind of see what's happening on the screen while you're writing. And after each game, we'll hear as many of you read what you wrote as we can.
Yeah. Listen, before we introduce tonight's playwrights, we've got a couple things to go over. First of all, how stupid I am. That's number 1. Number 2, for those of you who are participating via Zoom, we ask that you keep yourself muted and your video off for now. Now, in a few minutes, when we start the jam, we're going to ask you to turn that video back on, and we would love it if when that time comes, if you would turn your video back on, and so that we can see each other and kind of work with each other and kind of collaborate with each other. The show is streaming live on YouTube and Facebook, so just know that when your video is on, you'll be seen by certainly more people than are here right now. So if you're clothes, if you're not dressed, if you're wearing stripes across the front and plaids on the bottom or whatever, if you're not happy with your clothes consciousness, you can leave it off. But otherwise, even with that in mind, I'd say keep it on. But just know that the greatest thing is to work together, see each other. The more of you who turn on your video, the more we can see each other, clap and visually support each other. So consider that, all right? Lastly, we invite you to open up the chat feature, which is right down there in the middle of your toolbar down there. And we'll be using that to get suggestions to introduce our playwrights. And speaking of playwrights, right?
Yeah, speaking of playwrights, let's introduce tonight's intrepid writers. You want to?
I'd be happy to introduce the first one. Ladies and gentlemen, she is the artistic director of Freestyle Repertory Theater. She has her scripted plays have been done in New York City at the Metropolitan Playhouse. She's a director. She's a wonderful teacher. She's teaching hundreds of students in the school system. And right now she's teaching a whole bunch of first graders to do a very abridged Macbeth. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our good friend, Laura Livingston. Hey, you're there.
Hey, I kind of jumped the gun on my intro.
That's all right. That's all right. So people can see you and enjoy you. Hey, listen, tell us about that Macbeth for first graders. Do they like that kind of stabbing stuff and sword fighting?
They love it. It's kind of appalling. It makes you rethink what it is to be a human being. Apparently, bloodlust has a lot to do with it. And really fun and I think worthwhile is not only do they learn about working together to put on a play, but and all the collaboration that you have to have. It's very short so that they have time to learn and understand the actual words of Shakespeare, so that their stuff that while they're sitting in high school English class, they're going to hear things that go like, wait a second, I know this. So it's cultural literacy as well.
Excellent, excellent. Good job. Well, listen, we're going to move on because I wasted so much time being an ignoramus. Who's our next one, Lisa?
Well, our next writer is the artistic director of Synergy Theater, the co-producer of tonight's show. And he is the producer and creator of many groundbreaking online improv shows. And he's the author of a book, How to Improvise a Full-Length Play, The Art of Spontaneous Theater, which is like a Bible in the improv community. He began his career in New York City at Freestyle Repertory Theater. Please welcome Ken Adams.
Yeah. We miss you here in New York. You know that. We say that.
Well, I miss New York very much.
All right. That's good to know. How's life out there, though, huh?
Everything's great, and I'm ready to write.
Are you? All right. Well, you sound anxious to get to it, so let's get to it. All right. But first, I've got to introduce a writer and a producer. He's known for his film Deja Vu, Cold, Lightspeed, all these. He's very funny, award-winning short film, Gunpoint. Please welcome our good friend, Bill Marcelli. Bill Marcelli, how you doing?
I'm okay, thanks. How are you?
Good. Anything new to tell us about? Anything to tell us about the strike lines or?
I've been getting my steps in.
See anybody? Anybody down there that you saw?
I've seen a few friends of mine, but I don't know if I've seen anybody that you would know. Some celebrities have been joining the picket lines at different places, but I haven't seen anywhere. I've been picketing around CBS, but I guess if you want to see some celebrities, you need to hang out in front of Warner Brothers or Paramount or Disney. So maybe I'll do that sometimes.
There you go. All right. Well, listen, should we get everybody back, Lisa?
Sure. Let's bring everybody back on screen, all the playwrights. Audience members, I suggest that you now open your chat feature down in the middle of the screen if you haven't already done so. Each playwright will ask for a suggestion to kickstart their play. And when they do, if you have an idea, just write it in the chat.
Excellent. So let's go in the order we introduced, I think. Laura, what would you like to get from our audience?
I'm going to go with a classic opening gambit. I'm going to ask for a setting. All
right, ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to go into that chat and start knocking off any kind of settings you got that you'd like to that occur to you. There we go.
Here we go.
This right off the bat, a wonderful. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Laura.
An old closed down department store, hell, Garden of Eden.
Oh, I like that.
Great. These are great. You like Garden of Eden, Mike?
Well, I like that. I like all these is what I like.
Park. I'm going to go with a Garden of Eden then, just to please the co-host here.
Right. It's the garden of
That's
Eden
really the goal of tonight.
is to please us. Ken, what might you be interested in?
All right. Well, I'm looking off at my bookshelf here and I see a copy of one of my favorite books, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. And you know how they would always make movies by just pairing characters up, like Frankenstein meets the mummy, Frankenstein. All right. Well, not a famous movie monster, but finish this title for me. Frankenstein meets
Oh,
All right. Something came to my mind.
Frankenstein meets Fred Flintstone. All right, I got it. I'm going to go with Frankenstein meets Fred Flintstone. How could you ask? Oh, Pippi Longstocking. That's very good too. But I'm going to take Fred Flintstone. Frankenstein meets Fred Flintstone. Thank you very much.
All right.
Frankenstein meets Ernest Hemingway.
That's a good one too.
Bill,
That wouldn't be a whole lot of dialogue there, I would think.
I should take that one.
truly. All right. Bill, what do you think?
I would. You're all familiar with kind of the concept of patron saints. You know, there's the Saint Francis de Sales is the patron saint of writers, and Saint Clair is the patron saint of television, and there's all kinds of patron saints for that. So I would like a suggestion of a very strange thing to be a patron saint of, or a god of. So there I go.
A patron saint of something.
Yes, something rather strange. Yeah.
I got one. I'm gonna throw
Patron
it in.
saint of coffee makers. Okay, that's one. Patron saint of dust mites.
I just happened to be looking at the floor.
Okay. Patron saint of actors. Actually, there is a patron saint of actors, Saint Genesius, and that I chose that as my confirmation name as a Catholic. So
Really?
uh,
Is that your? What else you
yeah.
got there?
I'm going to hold off a little because I trust that there's more than 3 suggestions out there. But
All
let's see.
right. All right. Patron saint.
Hairdressers, miserables. I'm okay. I'm glad I held off. I think I'm going to go with the patron saint of road striping. Okay, that's pretty good. Patron saint of miserables. Patron saint of miserable people. All right, there we go.
It does have a ring, doesn't it? All right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, listen. Oh, I'm sorry. That's great.
all right. Well, I think it's time to send the writers away. In a few moments, we'll send you away for your 45 minutes. Keep an eye out for texts because we'll be sending them along with time reminders. And remember, whatever you write will be right. Okay.
Exactly. All
On
right.
your marks, get
Get
set
Here we go.
right away.
Here we go. Have a good time, you guys. Have a good time. Well, listen. All right. Now, our writers are going away. They've turned their video off, I hope, and their sound off so they can kind of focus on what they're doing. Now it's time for us to invite you to come back on the screen. Janella and Ignacio and Karen, come on back on and join us here and say it's good to see you all. Karen, it's good to see you as always. Now, if you haven't done it already, and if you choose to, grab that pencil and paper, because I think that's something that it's easier to work with. Just to remind you, we're going through YouTube and Facebook, so if you haven't brushed your teeth or whatever, just know that that's going out to a lot of people. So listen, otherwise, it's just good to see you all, and I think we see almost everybody. So good to see you all.
Yeah, great to see you all. And there are a few of us, so we'll get to write more. How's that?
It's an intimate salon tonight.
It's right, very exclusive.
Bless
So there are some options for how we see each other on the screen. If you move your cursor to the upper right of your screen, wherever that is, you'll see some options for how all our little windows appear, like gallery view, where you see everyone, or speaker view, where you only see the person speaking. You can choose whichever option you want, whatever you want to, without affecting anybody else.
So let's get into it right now. Just a reminder to you all improvisation and improvisation writing, it's all about being spontaneous and just letting your mind go. So we support each other. Whatever comes up is a great idea. If you've never done improv before, there's a couple of rules you want to say. Think to yourself. And the one rule is always say yes to your first idea. Your first idea is very, very powerful. Just don't be tough on yourself. It's not an easy thing to do, and yet it's the simplest thing to do. So I think it's just really have a good time. And I think somebody right now is working on their keyboard, and I hear that powerfully. I don't know if anybody else hears that powerfully. So just a little warning about that as well. We hear everything. So I think we're ready to kick this off. Are you ready? Should we do this? Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right. And Lisa and I have come up with a theme for this evening, and I hope that you'll enjoy our theme. And our theme is, and Lisa's much more articulate than I, and usually stays on the screen much longer than I do. I'll hit the wrong button, I'll be gone. But it's all about beginnings, how to start whatever it is we're doing. It's kind of how to start. Anything more explicit than that, Lisa? I don't know.
No, it's all about the start, Mike. That's exactly what it is. It's about finding a way to get going.
Hello, enough.
Whether it's the beginning of a project or the beginning of a writing session.
Just to get going. Here's the deal. Most of our exercises tonight will have something to do with just kind of getting going, getting the brain going, and getting that first idea down. And the first what we always like to do is kind of start out with a rather simple exercise, so it isn't so demanding. So often what we do is we do a word association. I'll say a word, and you write the first thing that comes to your mind. You write it down. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have. It's just that first thing that comes, whatever that inspiration is. Tonight, if you're all willing, if you want to write a couple of words, that would be fine. I wouldn't suggest. I'm going to go fast. So I'm not fast, but I'm going to keep moving. So if I say a word and you come up with one word, excellent. If you come up with a phrase, excellent. It's just to kind of get you going. So if you got your pencils ready, I'm about ready to start throwing some words out. And here is the first word: swamp. Treacherous. Wailing. Burlap. Bacon.
What was that word? Blanket?
Bacon.
Oh, bacon.
Yeah. And the last one is carousel. We've lost Ignacio, but he's got to go watch TV.
I think he switched over to YouTube.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
So now the moment is, let's read some of these and let's see what you came up with, if it was inspirational at all. So anybody want to go? Anybody want to raise your hand and say, I'm ready to do it? Or shall I just, Anath, and you just got here, Anath. Oh, it's amazing how you jump right into it. All right, Anath, I'm going to read the word, okay? And then you read what you wrote. Now, is your microphone on? No, I still don't hear you.
It's on.
Oh, no, okay, now I hear you. Here we go. I'll say the word, you say what you wrote. Ready, get set, go. Swamp.
Shit.
Treacherous.
disgusting,
wailing,
sobbing,
burlap.
rotten potatoes,
I love this. Bacon
eggs,
and carousel.
horses.
Wonderful. Exactly right. You were right down the line. Anath gets 100. Put down Anath gets 100%. Okay. All right. Anybody else? All right, Karen, I see you shaking your head.
Sure.
Nodding your head. Nodding your head. Here I go. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Swamp.
Rat,
Treacherous.
road,
Wailing.
wall,
Mhm.
Burlap.
sack,
Bacon.
lettuce.
Carousel.
I went with the knock. Horse.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to pick on somebody. Who? Now, Janella, you want to do it?
Sure.
Excellent, excellent, Janella. Here we go. Swamp.
Drowning.
Ooh, I like it. Treacherous.
Snakes.
Wailing.
Tears.
Burlap.
Hide.
Bacon.
Poison.
Carousel.
Relief.
I love that. I love that. I didn't. Now, Karina, what do you think? You want to do it?
Okay.
Is that a yes? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Word number one. Swamp.
Cookies.
Treacherous.
Sharks.
Wailing.
I put stairs, although it's also because I wasn't sure if you said railing or wailing. So anyway,
What did you put down?
I put stairs, but that was
That's
important. Yeah, okay.
Oh, you thought I said. I was wondering if anybody was going to go with the big mammal. But so far nobody has, which is interesting. Burlap.
Sack,
Bacon.
pigs,
And carousel.
fun.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, that's it. We got cooking. We're cooking a little bit. We have to keep aware of the time also.
Yeah, I think it's been 10 minutes. They have
So-
35 minutes left, so maybe we should send them a suggestion.
Yeah. How about, can I suggest a sound effect? Some sort of something they might hear that they will have to incorporate into their plays. So if you want to go over to the chat and start knocking off a couple of ideas about some kind of sound that might be imposed. Angels singing. That's where we're going. This is whistling. I like it. Whistling. I can't. I'm trying to think of one right now. I'm going to say frogs. I'm going to say frogs. Thud. All right. I like that. All right. Anybody else got anything? Well, I'm gonna go last chance, and we're gonna go. I'm gonna go with angels singing. It just makes me smile. What can I say? So we're gonna send that to those writers out there, and they're going to have to incorporate into their plays that moment of angels singing.
Okay. It's
And Lisa, I think you're up there to kind of send us off.
Yeah. So there's a lovely memoir called Briefly We Are Gorgeous by the poet Ocean Vuong. And his memoir begins with these words, "Let me begin again." And I love this as a prompt to write because so many things could be meant. We don't know what he's been attempting, but we do know it isn't the first time. And so since it always is easier, I think, to begin in the middle, that attracts me. So I think I'd like to write for 3 minutes on the prompt, "Let me begin again." So go ahead and begin that now.
Okay.
Let me begin again.
We should all start writing.
Yes.
Okay.
Do one more minute. All right. Let's bring that to a conclusion. Would anybody like to share what they've written?
I'm always ready. I'm always ready.
Oh, okay, Mike.
But we have guests. We have guests, and go ahead, Carrie. You ready for it?
Sure.
Go for it.
So let me begin again. The gray-haired librarian repeated his statement and said it louder and with much more force than the first time he uttered the phrase. Let me begin again, he shouted and came to his feet. He began to pace before the crowd of first graders. He then said, once upon a time, there was a very mischievous boy who made a choice that changed his life story.
Intriguing.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Who else?
Enough?
Yes.
By all means.
Let me begin again. I did tell you that what you are asking is way beyond of what I'm capable to give you. You want love. I don't know what love is. I was raised in hell. I was raised in a volcano exploding each day at different hours and waking me up at night. I wanted to begin again, but I can't. I need a volcano to explode. You need caressing and love.
Oh,
Lovely.
great.
Lovely.
That's quite
I'm
an.
gonna do mine real fast. Let me
All right.
begin again. Let me begin again. I never thought of myself as a long distance runner, but here I am at mile 18 on the 59th Street Bridge, and my lungs are on fire. I live close to Central Park, so it really wasn't necessary to go all the way to Staten Island and run 26 miles just to get there. But yes, I had to prove something to myself. What did I prove? I that I will never, ever do this again.
Great.
I never did it in the first place, so. Who else? Janella?
Janella or Karina?
Okay,
Karina?
Janella.
let me begin again. I've failed at everything I've done. I realize this 30 years later. I meant well at the time. I can't correct myself because everyone is dead. How do I make amends? I cannot care. I can kill myself. I can do drugs. Hope springs eternal. I'll begin again. I'll make donations in their names. It's not a comedy, it's a tragedy.
I'm sorry. I love the fact that everybody
I'm
was
glad
dead.
you're laughing. I can make people laugh even when it's sad.
Yeah, making donations in their names to make up for it is tragic
What
and
else?
hilarious. I
What
mean,
else can you do?
I'm getting out my checkbook right now. Janella or Karina, anything? Your microphone might be off.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Let me begin again. We
Okay.
arrived at the airport at 2 a.m., not 2 p.m., which was when our flight was scheduled. We arrived at the hotel at 3 p.m. and when we got to our room, someone when we got to our room, someone was already there. They called the cops, and that is why we are in jail.
Great.
Let me ask you. Karina, did you start to read that when your microphone was off and then had to turn your microphone on?
Yeah,
So you literally had to begin again, didn't you?
I did, literally, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Listen, we've got a responsibility, I think, to, are we pretty much time to give these guys something else to throw in there?
Yep. I'm sure it's been another 10 minutes, so they have 25 minutes left.
An idea, Alicia? Anything you got?
How about a line of dialogue? It's always fun.
Always fun. Any line of dialogue, character says.
One line.
Yeah,
That could be
Yeah.
a phrase.
phrase.
Okay, so we've got get me out of here. My greatest dream is to be seen as a leader. You have said that so many times. Respect your elders. Is that a gun in your pocket? Are you just happy to see me? Mae West there.
Nicely done, Lisa.
Well, this runs the gamut, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like all of them.
Get Me Out of Here is very evocative because it's like it's going to make something happen.
Let's go with it.
All right, here we
Let's
go.
go with Get Me Out of Here. Oh, I got to write that down. And I got the next one. And the next one was kind of a combination of something that, and it may not be, Let Me Begin Again is really a beginning, a way to begin a story. And I was hoping that some of those words might, the word associated might have some kind of a inspiring sort of beginning to, at least to put you in some sort of a sensual sort of a hearing or smelling or feeling or whatever. This one is maybe not so much, but it still could very well be. This one is maybe for a couple of minutes. I haven't thought about how long, but maybe 2 or 3 minutes of writing. And what it is write out a little bit of gossip. A gossip about any kind of, like a historical figure or a literary figure, and just gossip, and just write some gossip about this person or this character or whatever. So for what, like 2 minutes or whatever, I'll kind of keep a look at the clock. So ready, get set, write some gossip about a historical character or a literary character.
Can you
Go.
suggest someone?
I was just thinking, I'm gonna write about Godzilla. That would be who I'd write some gossip about, but I've decided not to write it. I'm gonna watch my thing instead. So yeah. The other one, when we were talking about this, was Ahab. How he always smells like fish, and the peg leg thing. I hate the sound of that thing when it hits the linoleum or whatever. So it's grab a character and just write some snotty little gossip about them. Ready, get set, have a good time writing some gossip. You have another minute. They're bringing it to a close. Yeah. Hey, where's Karina? I thought you might have gone for a while. Were you writing the last one? Did you know what we were doing?
What?
Did you know what the last exercise was?
Yeah, no, I just turned the camera off while I was writing. I was there. I
Okay.
didn't do a good job.
You did a great job, Karina. You did a great job. Don't ever think you didn't do a good job. You did a great job. And so I'm going to pick on you right off the bat, Karina.
Oh no. So here's the thing. I really didn't get much because I was sort of going, I ended up thinking of too many things. So I got like 2 lines really.
That's all right. You 2 lines of gossip can do a lot of damage.
All right, let's see. This is embarrassing though. Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay, did you hear Lydia went and married that scoundrel? I know everyone is talking about it. So yeah, what happened? Yeah, I was first thinking of Jane Eyre,
Yes.
and then I switched to Pride and Prejudice. And so that was kind of, yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Great. That's
Yeah,
great.
I think you should work on that a little bit. jumping back and forth between Jane Eyre and Pride and Prejudice. I think it's a great idea. Anybody else? Who wants to? I want to hear gossip. All right, Janella, I want to hear your gossip. There's no doubt about it.
Martha Washington had a lot of gas. She just ate too much bacon, beans, and dairy. She actually enjoyed offending George. It got him out of the house so she could finally be alone.
How he lost his teeth.
From George and Martha, the later years.
That's how the cherry tree came down. Karen, who are you going to do? Who are you going
Well,
to do?
I can't say that I'm going with a colonial aspect. I picked Betsy Ross, so.
Oh.
Inquiring minds want to know, and here it is. Yesterday, Miss Betsy Ross was spied 3 sheets to the wind walking down Independence Way in Philadelphia. Miss Ross was heard shouting shameful statements about Miss Chantilly, the owner of the fabric store, and the unbelievably high cost of red, white, and blue fabric.
Huh. Good one.
I like the idea of 3 sheets too. A little whole fabric kind of motif going on there.
Yeah.
And if you got some gossip, have you got some gossip for us?
It's kind of a gossip, but I couldn't decide between Freud and Virginia Woolf. They were both depressing. What do you, so it's, I think Virginia Woolf won. What do you love about her? That she committed suicide, that she drove everybody mad, that she was always depressed? Do you know why she was always depressed? Because she was jealous of me. And she should have. But if it were not for her jealousy, she would be neither depressed nor famous.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Did you get one, Lisa? Did you do one?
You know, I did a quickie. One night in the pub, Watson told me that he falls asleep every night in front of the window, stoned out of his gourd. I'll bet it's Watson solves all the cases. That would explain how Holmes makes wild leaps without showing his work.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
That's a good gossip.
I did not write one for Godzilla, so I might have, but bad breath, that's for sure. Should we? Is it time for us to?
I think it is. Matter of fact, one of the writers just asked if she missed a suggestion. So,
Oh dear.
yeah, I think we're behind. The
Oh,
writers
fine.
desperate for ideas.
All right. Well, then I think we need to give them. We've got a line of dialogue. We've got a sound effect. How about a theatrical sort of a theatrical? Can't think of the word. Something that happens on stage that wouldn't happen in a movie or. I'm sputtering here.
Yeah, like
An effect, I guess.
an effect or breaking a fourth wall or things like that, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm asking for, but something that on stage, and I will tell you something I saw the other night. I saw a play. Well, I'll tell you. I saw Life of Pi, which yeah, and at one moment, I hope you don't. If you see it, you'll be amazed. He stands on the bow of this ship, which the ship is really only about maybe a foot off the ground, and he just jumps off the bow of the ship and hits the stage floor and disappears, just like he's going right into the water. And it was such a shock to see that happen. It was, obviously a little trap door, big enough for a small fella, big enough for him to kind of disappear in. So that's a good stage effect. But something like that, a lighting effect. I don't think so much a sound effect, because we did a sound, but a lighting effect or a stage effect. Any ideas? Type
Yeah.
them into that chat. Type them into that
Character
chat.
begins to rise in the air. Karen,
Right. Uh, um,
anybody else have one? A character gets liquefied.
oh, look at this one. Oh, a character gets
Actor
liquefied.
walks into the audience. Oh, and the
I-
entire scene begins to rotate.
I do have a big. These are all great. These are all great. I kind of like the idea of a character walking into the audience. Let's if that's all right. Let's have the one of the is it an actor walks into the audience or one of the characters walks into the audience? However you want to phrase that. I think.
Okay, I'll say a character or actor.
Okay, all right, that sounds good.
Great solution.
Think of the character can only communicate through singing through a song. I love this. All right, so we're going with an actor or character goes into the audience.
Okay. So do you think we'll give them another
Yeah, we'll give them another one in
Another?
about 5 minutes.
at five to
Yeah.
go? All right. Yeah, I hope everybody else got that line of dialogue, and because Laura said she missed it, so we'll see. We'll get what we get.
We'll go. Oh, yeah, exactly right. This is the first person, third person kind of thing you were going to try to do.
Yeah. So, you want to, I mean, I think we might, do you think we have time for two more or one more? Maybe we should skip to the next one, or,
I think we got time for, may have time for two. We might, we
Okay.
might run short on reading them, but
okay.
we might.
All right. So, this is called first person, third person. I saw a play recently called Is God Is, where the characters would periodically just begin speaking about themselves in the third person, and it added this dimensionality and perspective that I really loved. So that's what I'd like to try. So why don't we write for a couple of minutes, and we'll begin in the first person, and at some point I'll just say third person, and then I may say first person, and see how many times we switch back and forth, and just try to switch in the moment from one to the other.
So like first person would be like, I was walking down the street and I was whistling a tune. And then third person would be,
He stepped on a piece of gum.
there we go. Okay, just so I understand, just so I know what I'm going to write.
All right.
All right. First person, third person.
Okay, so yeah, let's begin.
All right.
Can you give us, so we all kind of write about the same thing and we see how the mind works differently, if you want. Each person interprets the same vision. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I didn't have anything queued up.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, I can't.
I think it's a good idea.
I always hate to limit and or corral anybody into anything. So I think let's just keep it real open, Janella, and just have a grand old time.
But if you want a prompt, use that. I was walking down the street.
Okay.
Yeah. Third person. First person. Third person. First person the last time. And bring it to a close. All right, let's wrap it up. In a second, in a minute, not a minute, but a piece of a minute.
Wow, I think that was harder than I thought it was going to be. Maybe for
Yeah,
me it
it's a-
was.
It's a lot of switching.
That was a challenge. That was a
Who
challenge.
would like to read that?
I'll go.
Okay, great.
Okay. I gave a present to Donald Trump. I presented it initially as a sacred thing. Then she laughed as he unwrapped it. She laughed at his astonishment. I had to stop laughing. She caught it as he threw it. I apologized for giving him a dress.
That's great. That's really cool. I'm so excited to hear these. This is hard.
This
It's
was
hard.
good.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. We should maybe we could give one more suggestion to the writers, and then maybe we'll have just enough time to finish off the readings. I'd like to read mine just because I'm not sure I pulled it off or not. But so we need a final kind of suggestion. Any thoughts from you, Lisa, as to what we might ask her for?
I was thinking about a weather event.
I love it.
Hmm.
I love it. A meteorologic event. Any meteorologic event.
Hail. Hail the angels singing. It was raining cats and dogs. Raining pasta. A cyclone. A strong wind.
Mighty wind.
Ill tidings. What do you think?
I'm going to go. I don't know. A strong wind kind of speaks to me, so I'm going to go. If that's okay with everybody, let's go with a strong wind for the final. Suggestion of those guys. How about a strong wind howls? Well, whatever. I get all excited.
I just said incorporate a strong wind.
Yes.
I'll let them
Incorporate a strong
grapple
wind.
with that. Okay, let's try to read some more. Who would like to read?
I like.
Enough.
I was walking down the street, and who do I see but my fourth grade teacher, the one who really liked me. She looked at the teacher shyly, as if she still was the 10-year-old. I walked slowly over to her. Mrs. Stein, it's me, Veronica. She moved closer and greeted her teacher. The teacher looked at her like, who's that? I was stunned. She did not remember me, Veronica, the one who started and stopped stuttering when she spoke to me. That's it.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh.
sweet.
Melancholy.
Yeah, I love that.
I'll do mine.
All right.
Here we go. I could barely see the painting on the museum wall. He reached for the masterpiece to adjust it. Well, now I can see it. I can see the colors, the perspective. The museum guard grabbed him by his shoulders. I was thrown bodily out of the museum. That's me. That's me. That's me.
That really happened.
Karen, want to give it a
Sure.
shot?
Sure, why not? I spied a bird in my garden fountain. The sound of his splashing caught me by surprise. He looked at me with knowing eyes. I called to him and asked, "What are you trying to tell me?" He began to speak in a voice that was filled with knowledge and patience. I closed my eyes and took another sip of my tea and sighed.
Oh, it's a beautiful story.
Yeah, that was so cohesive.
Yeah, almost like a poem.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Karina, what do you think? What do you got down there?
Okay. All right. I decided to spend the day speaking with lines from books. Like, when I realized I didn't have enough cash to buy a banana, she thought to herself, it is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. And of course, I only know gay men.
Excellent, excellent.
Oh, you took the form and, just took it up here. That was awesome.
Raise the bar. Raise the
Yeah.
bar. Well, what do you think? We have less than a minute, so we can't really do anything. I don't think we can kick anything off.
Yeah, we can do a sentence, one letter at a time.
All right, let's go. You start us off.
Word or letter?
How about a line? One line to start a story off.
Okay. I woke up in terror.
What I had seen was something I could not believe.
The sun had disappeared to another universe.
My room was in complete darkness.
The smell of toast was everywhere.
I hid under my bed.
Time to go to work. I think it's time to bring those people back. We got to bring our authors back. Boy, that was a harrowing story that we had going there. A line at a time story.
Well, we had a really awesome group of people here.
Yeah, nice going.
Really
you guys.
just the perfect group and the perfect amount of people.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Such good stuff.
a very
Yeah, there's-
intimate song.
I am back. I am back.
Prompt.
You are,
Did you get all of the
I think so.
Yeah? Okay, good. Some of your fellow writers did not receive all of them, maybe. Well, we'll see.
Oh, well, I got Incorporate a Strong Wind. I got the line of dialogue, Get Me Out of Here. I got The Angel Singing. One other?
There was one other one, an actor,
Yeah.
a character goes
Oh,
into
walks out into the audience. Yes, I got all of them.
boom, 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 good. Are the rest of these guys back yet? Are they?
Oh, they're cheating. That means I win.
I know it. I know we have to take a certain amount off of their. All right, there's Bill. All right, there's Bill. All right. And we just.
I wasn't still typing anyway.
And I could literally go grab Laura Livingston if I wanted to. Is she the one who's having the trouble with getting or getting one of the suggestions at least?
Yeah, so she may be having trouble with text.
All right, all right. Well, why don't we just kind of go into the audience? It was a great jam. We had a good time. It kind of flew by, but so we're bringing back our wonderful playwrights, and that's cool. And that's cool.
All right, Laura's back.
Everybody's back. All right. Now, here's what's got to happen now. Everybody, the playwrights have to cast their plays and prepare for their world premiere. So we need to take a 10-minute intermission. I think, Lisa, I think you're going to put some email addresses or some website addresses and other informations in the chat. If you'd like to take this time to check out our companies or make a much appreciated donation or register for next month's Right Away, which is on June 26th is next month. You can do that at this time. If you want to go get a little something to drink, go to the bathroom, whatever you want to do, you can do. We've got 10 more minutes. You can even watch what's going on right now, which is a kind of a fun thing to watch backstage, trying to get us all together. But we have 10 minutes that we need to do that. We're going to take an intermission, have a wonderful time. And I've got 22 after the hour. So it is at 32 after whatever hour you're at is when I'd like to get you back. So have a wonderful 10-minute intermission. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. All right, you guys.
How was it, guys?
Yeah, it was great. The suggestions were great. Everything was great. My play is very silly.
No.
Well, Laura Livingston.
It took me that long to find how to make my Zoom window bigger so I could get the icon to bring my camera back. I don't know how many things I put away and where I put them looking for that. All right, so I'll cast mine.
Yeah.
Mike, would you be character 1? I think character 1's the elephant. And Ken, would you be character 2, who I think is the humpback whale? And Bill, would you be character 3, who is an angel?
Okay.
Intriguing.
And he is an angel.
It's not intriguing.
Ken, what do you got?
All right. Well, I didn't grow too many characters, and there's not enough of us to play them. So let's see how we're going to do this. Let's start with Bill. Will you read Frank, who is Frankenstein's monster? And he doesn't talk like a monster. He speaks very eloquently. Michael, will you read Fred? And that's Fred Flintstone. There's a little cameo of the audience members, so I'll read that. But then I have 4 women's roles, and we only have 2 women, so I guess we're just going to have to double up. Lisa Gay Thompson, if you would, let me just make sure. Let's have, if you could read Angel 1, and Laura Livingston, if you could read Angel 2 and 3. And then in addition to that, Laura Livingston, if you could read Wilma. So, and Lisa, there's a song you sing to the tune of Flintstones, Meet the Flintstones, and it's Angels, Where the Angels?
Yabba dabba do time.
So that's what I got. I'll explain it to the audience with my apologies about the casting.
Bill, what do you got for us?
Me? Okay. All right. Ken, if you could read Delaware Dan, you'll read that role. Michael, you will be Saint Bummer. And towards the end, there's an elderly couple that each has one line. Let's see. Laura, if you could be elderly woman, and I guess I can do the one line from Elderly Man. That make sense? Does that work?
Okay. Send away, you guys.
All right.
All right, I already sent mine.
All right, I'm afraid to do anything here.
You're my favorite.
All right. I gotta save this as a PDF and send it to one and all. All right, here we go. Where? Oh wait, I did the wrong thing. If I just hit reply all to Ken's play, you'll all get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
All right. Yeah.
All right, I don't know.
Um,
Oh, there's Laura's play. I got Laura's play. Oh, here comes Bill's. I think Bill just came to me too.
I've got Ken's.
I have only Ken's so far.
Oh, okay.
Let me try refreshing. Oh, here we go. Here we go. LL's play, right? Okay.
Does yours say, here's mine, Bill?
Yes,
Okay, got it.
I have Grotto of the Saints
that's the one.
and Frankenstein. I have that one. I
Mine's,
don't,
mine's called LL's play, and
oh, okay, okay.
Mm.
All right, all right. I got LL's play too. All right, I got them all. Now, can I find them when I need them? That's always the trick.
D. Hang on.
I don't ever know how to get a PDF without that sidebar of the page numbers and stuff. Oh, well.
We have 2 minutes. And I gotta find that script again. There.
All right.
The whole
Yeah.
script.
Oh, mine included a blank title page. I didn't realize it was going to do that. Sorry.
And Lisa, if I am jumping all over your lines and stuff, I apologize.
No, not at all.
No, okay, because
Besides, I got to say a bunch of yours in the beginning, so.
I must have just closed the whole program. I don't know what the heck's going on in my head.
We had some sort of holding area while Ken addresses everybody else. Is that what's going on?
All right.
Oh, wait, I go first. I better open mine up. Ugh, okay. See. Oh, it's open. Okay, there it is.
All right, I better.
Is somebody talking to the rest of the audience while we're doing this, or?
No, I'm about to start talking to him right now. Audience,
They're,
audience,
on a
come
break.
back. Audience, come back. Please, please come back, audience.
Or has everything we've been saying been?
I think they still have a couple of minutes
Oh, do
because
they? Okay, all right.
the time that you said was 2 minutes earlier than the time the rest of us showed on our clocks.
Oh, all right, all right.
So they may just have set 10-minute timers.
all right,
Yeah,
all right.
I
that's
think they
cool.
actually have almost 3 minutes.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Well, I am just batting 1,000 tonight. I'm just batting 1,000. I have half of my screen is my script and half is the thumbnails of all you lovely people. I am now going to make that full screen, and I'll bet you I will never find my script again. Oh, but people are coming back, I think.
I just saw a patron saint of coffee makers. That's a good one.
Janella. Janella's back. Janella's back.
Oh, Janelle, are you eating an ice cream bar?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, looks so good.
Did you bring something for all of us?
Yeah, here it is.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
It's a metaphor, whatever that means.
We need, looking for Aneth. She'll come back. Karen, I'm assuming will be back with us. And who else did we have? We had Karina. I don't see Karina here on the list anymore. She may have left us.
Bill, I watched your short film Gunpoint the other day. It was fabulous.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Yeah, it's on this streaming platform, ASG.
Oh,
And,
Yeah, those are the folks who bankrolled the short. Actually, they set up their own little streaming platform for it. And,
yeah, so it's free to watch. You guys can check it out. And Bill, you're great in it.
can we see it on YouTube?
it's not yet on YouTube, but I'll tell you what, I can actually put the link very quickly in the chat box if that'll help.
There, excellent idea. Excellent idea.
Yeah, the way it works is it's free. You have to register. There's a free registration for the site that allows you to stream. But once you fill out that, like your name and email, I guess the price of it is that you're on the mailing list. So that's the way it works. But
It's just your soul. Small price to pay for a great film.
yeah, well, thank you so much for saying that.
No, it's really good.
asg.stream should take it to
ASG.stream, okay.
Yeah, and I just sent it in the chat box as well. It's an 8-minute short, and
Oh,
so it's not too long, I hope.
so you all are writers for a living? Yes?
Not everybody.
Bill
Not
is.
everybody, no.
I do all right. I'm doing all right. Yeah.
I think, is Bill our most professional writer?
Probably not. I might get
Well,
paid.
Lisa,
But,
you're an active professional writer.
I'm an active writer. I'm my checkbook from being a writer is not so active, but it's
Well, listen, I think we can do this. Can we do this, audience?
Let's
You've
do
got,
it.
yeah, you've got your refreshments. You're feeling better. I will remind you that we do have a Facebook page called Right Away Afterwards, and you can go to that Facebook and join it and continue the conversation about the show or what about writing. So I believe, Lisa, did you put that in is that in there?
yeah, it's in the chat. You might have to look back a little bit for it, but
All right, but the Facebook page is called Right Away Afterwards. So take that on.
yeah. So we're going to ask that you keep your camera off in a moment during the reading of the plays. If you'd rather not see the names of everybody with their cameras off, you can click on Hide Non-Video Participants, and you'll find that by hovering your cursor down on the lower left, click on the little caret next to video, and scroll down to Hide Non-Video Participants. That won't affect what anybody else sees, but at the end of the reading, it's really fun to come back on the screen and applaud or snap or just let the playwright know and the actors that, you enjoyed the performance.
So I think we're gonna kick this off, right? We're gonna review quickly the suggestions we sent to the writers. The first one was they hear angels singing, or angels singing is kind of an auditory sort of things that they heard. The second one suggestion was a line of dialogue that says, "Get me out of here." The third suggestion was an actor or a character leaves the stage and goes into the audience. And the final one was to incorporate the sound of a strong wind or the feel of a strong wind. The strong wind is what was important. And so to kick us off, I think, Laura, I think you're number one, aren't you?
Yep.
Take
So
us
my
down.
suggestion- what?
Go for it.
My suggestion, I asked for a setting and I got the Garden of Eden. And I will read stage directions as little as necessary. We start out with an elephant and a humpback whale on stage right after the fall.
And I am sorry to say that I am already having, oh, got it, okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. I'll keep talking. I'll pass.
I'm ready. You ready? Wow.
Mike, you're not on screen.
Oh, shoot. Jeez, I tell you, you would think I'd never done this before, huh? But now I can do it. All right, now I gotta find the script. Here we go. Oh, that was something.
Right? Who'd have thought?
The humans,
Kicked right out. Right on out.
with curses,
Yeah, with curses.
sweat of your brow.
Yup.
And not just the humans. Did you hear what the snakes got?
Snake got cursed?
He has to crawl.
Crawl?
Well, not even crawl. Really. He has to slither. No arms, legs,
What?
and his tongue. It goes like this now.
Wow. And he was so charming.
Not anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
God really seemed to like the humans.
Loved them.
Let them name us all, every creature that flies and crawls and walks.
And saunters debonairly like Snake.
Yeah, they made up great names. I mean, I love being called elephant.
Humpback whale is a great name. Suits me. And God really got a kick out of it.
And then one slip up and
They're out.
with curses.
Well, he did make it really clear what they weren't supposed to do.
There's the sound of angels singing.
Oh, hang on. It's the angel singing.
Oh, yeah, let's listen.
They listen to the heavenly music and suddenly an angel plummets to the ground.
Oh, look out below!
Whoa!
Are you okay?
Let me see. Yeah, not too bad. My wings don't seem to be working. Otherwise, I'm okay. Don't seem to be able to fly though. Bummer. I liked flying. Guess I shouldn't have sung that song.
Well, I like that song. I hadn't heard it before.
That was a great song.
Well, thank you. God told me not to. God told me not to make up a new song, but obviously I did. And then I got thrown out of heaven.
I don't believe it.
So, no knowledge, no creativity. That's the way to not get kicked out of places?
If you want to stay in Eden, don't learn stuff. God, if you want to stay in heaven, don't make up new things.
Wait. I know God. I lived in heaven for like forever. And God is much cooler than that.
I always thought God appreciated the names the humans made up for us animals.
Platypus, eh? Hilarious. Armadillo.
Armadillo, that was so creative. And God loved that name. He saw that it was good.
Yeah, and all the messages he sent you through us angels. I mean, obviously, he wants you to know things.
But being knowledgeable and creative gets you kicked out?
With curses.
I don't want to get kicked out.
Get me out of here.
Are you kidding? This is Eden. Eden. The earthly paradise.
The whale starts walking into the audience.
I'm leaving of my own free will.
You're heading straight to the ocean. I happen to know that from when I could fly around.
I need something to buoy me up. I'm feeling down. So long, Angel. I'll sing your song. I'll keep it alive under the water.
Thanks, Humpback.
Whew. I'm gonna miss Humpback. I miss the humans. I really miss Snake.
Snake was suave, debonair. Really, really cool and funny.
Angel, I don't get what life is all about. It seems like God enjoys it when we do wonderful things, think of great names.
Make up catchy songs, know where oceans are.
But doing beautiful, smart things, it just makes us miserable.
Yeah. Oh, here comes a really strong wind.
Ooh, it's blowing your robes and feathers around.
Does it look like I'm flying?
Yeah, it really does. You've invented theater.
Oh!
The end.
Yes.
I loved it.
Thanks.
Wow.
Thank you. Thanks, folks. Nice
Awesome.
Well, cool and a half. Ken, it's
All
up to
right,
you now,
I'm
huh?
up. I'm up. So my suggestion was Fred Flintstone. I asked for someone to complete the title Frankenstein meets, and then I took Fred Flintstone. So I wrote a play. I did a bad right away thing, and I wrote more characters than we have actors to play. So Laura Livingston is actually going to play 3 characters. She'll play 2 different angels and another character who enters later. So just Laura, I'm sure you'll do your best to have different voices in order to create these different characters. But I'm going to pop off and I'm going to read some stage directions. So give me one moment, please. All right. Frankenstein meets Fred Flintstone. Lights up.
So I ran. I ran as fast as I could, gunshots ringing in my ears, the barking of the dogs as they raced after me through the woods, my bare feet burning and stinging from the bristles in the underground as I made my way. I knew not where, until at last I hit my head against a branch of a tree and I fell to the ground. Kill me, I said. Kill me, you too cruel world. I, who was brought to this life against my will, and for naught but the vanity of my father inventor. A man whose only goal in life is to prove to the world that he, and he alone, is mightier than God. Mighty enough to create a human life. Mighty enough to bring a sentient soul into existence, but not to nurture and love. Not to cuddle and care for, no. To display as a freak before the world. To gather praise and adulation for his technological wizardry, and then to despise, abandon, and hunt to its death. And as I lay there on the wet, cold ground, brown leaves, twigs scratching against my bruised and battered skin, I suddenly felt myself floating in the air, flying. I was flying. When I landed, I found myself here in this strange town of Bedrock, where I met you, Flintstone, Fred. I met Fred Flintstone, and you have been kind to me.
Oh, that's some crazy story. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I yelled at you when I first saw you. It's just that I was with my daughter, and I thought maybe you might hurt my little pebbly poo.
I understand. I am frightening.
And you don't know how you ended up here.
No. As I said, the last thing I remember was passing out in the forest in Vienna in the year 1889.
Oh, wowza. That's Bronto Burger size long time from now.
Do I understand that this time is a long time in the past? A time when human beings did not have all of the incredible technology that we have in my time?
Well, sure, but we make do pretty well.
Then perhaps we can start again.
What?
Perhaps we can start again. Understand it. In my time, people are cruel and unfeeling.
Suddenly, angels begin to sing.
Wait a minute. Are those angels?
Enter 3 angels.
Yes, we are angels.
Angels from heaven above. And we make music.
Angels, meet the angels. We're the folks who live up there with God. Angels, meet the angels. And we show up here when things are hard. Now we come to make it all right. Now we come to help you fight your fight. Angels, meet the angels. We're the folks right out of Genesis.
Wait a minute. You angels came down from heaven to help my buddy Frank here, right the wrongs of his world?
Yes, that's right.
How?
Well, as you were saying, the people in your time are cruel and unfeeling.
Yes, that's right. They're quick to anger and fear. They hate what they do not know and cannot understand. If you are different, if you think or look, behave in a different way from most, then you are hated, persecuted, and destroyed.
Wowza! Woo!
Exactly, but we shall use our heavenly magic to change all of that.
It was us who sent you here.
You sent me here to Bedrock?
Yes, and we arranged this meeting with Fred Flintstone.
You did?
Yes, because you, Fred Flintstone, are a good person. In fact, you are the best person in the entire world. Your heart is simple and pure.
It is?
And you are the hope of all humanity.
Well, what do you know? Just wait until the grand poobah hears about this.
I don't understand. What are we to do?
Get me out of here.
What?
You heard me. I can't go through with it. I can't do it.
What are you saying?
Look, I'm sorry. The plan was for the three of us to come down here, combine the two of you into one super being with the strength and empathy of this creature and the goodness and purity of this person. Create a super being, I say, and then destroy the future that has unfolded and reset time to this point so that you, this new super being, can serve as a model for humanity and guide the world to a better future.
Ooh, that's a doozy of a plan.
Let us do this.
No, we can't.
Why not?
Because we do not have permission to do this.
You mean,
God has forbidden it, but we decided to rebel and do it anyway. God has got to see that his divine plan is gone awry. If only he would listen to reason, he'd realize that he messed it all up, creating people the way he did. He'd let us give it another try. But he's too pig-headed and stubborn.
But he's still God. He's still God, and we are his angels. We cannot disobey.
Please, we have a chance to help. Fred, are you willing to do this? Are you willing to allow these angels to combine the best of Fred Flintstone with the best of this creature and create a new type of human that can lead the world to a greater place?
yeah, sure.
Enter Wilma.
Oh, no, you don't, Fred Flintstone. That's right, Wilma, your wife.
You know who you are.
Oh boy, I had to pride myself for a while.
Nothing. But
Watch it. You watch it, Fred. You just watch it. Now, look, I don't know who these ladies are, but from the looks of them, they're some of those dancing girls from Rock Vegas, and I don't need any more trouble from them. So go on and get out of here.
Wilma, honey, they're angels.
Oh, angels, are they? Angels? And what am I then? Just what am I? Oh, Fred, how could you?
Oh, Wilma, but they're actual angels, from heaven.
Oh, boo! Oh, Fred!
You see, this is why we're forbidden to do this. We have broken this poor woman's heart.
Let me explain it to her.
Oh, I don't need you to explain anything to me, you big brontosaurus butt.
Frankenstein walks into the audience and grabs somebody by the neck.
That's it. I've had enough of this. Now, either we do what the angels said, we combine Fred Flintstone and me into a superhuman to lead the world to a place of bliss, or I snap this person's neck and drink the blood.
Please, please don't hurt me.
I mean it.
Oh, we should never have come.
Wait a minute, Wilma. Don't you see, I never cheated on you with nobody. Not these angels from heaven, not these dancing girls from Rock Vegas. I love you. I was just trying to help with some cockamamie plan to fix the world in the future. But I realize now that I'd have to give up my present. And you're the best present I ever had. I'm sorry, creature, but I can't do it. I can't combine with you because I'd be giving up too much. I'd be giving up my Wilma.
Oh, Fred.
Then I will kill this audience member.
No, Frank, you can't.
Stay back. I shall hold you down with these heavy rocks.
He puts heavy rocks on Fred's head. And Fred speaks now.
Oh, it's Fred. All right.
Don't you see? This is exactly what your terrible father said you would do. He called you a monster. Those people who chased you with torches and pitchforks. This is what they thought you are, but you aren't. You aren't a monster. You're a human being. You could be better than what everybody else thinks you can be. You just have to prove it, not to them, to yourself, right?
Yes, you are right.
He releases the audience member.
I am sorry. Angels, take me back to my own time. Fred is correct. We cannot erase the future and start again. We must learn to make the best of what we have, of what we are. No, we must learn to make it better.
She waves her hand and a strong wind arises. It lifts the creature into the air and carries it away. The creature and the angel disappear.
You didn't think I'd ever cheat on you, did you?
Well, no, I guess not. Come on inside, Fred, and I'll help you get your rocks off.
What? What the hell? Yeah, but
Blackout. End of play.
Why didn't I see that joke coming?
Oh, that was just so worth it.
Thank you all for your indulgence.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think at this moment, I'm going to ask everybody to kind of get rid of their screen, get off the screen for just a second.
We got another one, Mike.
But I'm going to just, haven't you got something to say that you wanted to say first?
I want to read Bill's play.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right. I thought that came before Bill's play. But okay, let's go with Bill's play because I'm ready to read it too. I am absolutely read it.
All right, however you want to handle this, I will read the stage directions, but I'll be off screen. So,
Oh dear, I gotta find it now. Bill's play. I got it.
Remind us of your suggestion, Bill.
yes, I asked for a strange thing to be a patron saint of, and the suggestion I took was miserables. Miserable patron saint. So, shall we begin?
Go for it.
Get myself off camera here. Here we go. Okay.
Okay, and this is actually more of a film script. So here we go. Interior Grotto of the Saints, underground. At first, all is dark, kind of like it is right now, until a sudden clamor of bricks falls from the ceiling of this ancient vaulted chamber. A lit torch is tossed down into the room. Then a rugged adventurer, Delaware Dan, descends by rope from the opening in the ceiling. When he reaches the floor, he picks up the torch and surveys the room by its flickering light.
At last, the Grotto of the Saints.
He unfolds an old parchment, turns a circle in the center of the chamber. The firelight reveals walls lined with ancient tile murals, stone shelves covered in dusty artifacts, and a statue of a tall saint standing guard over all. Delaware Dan approaches the shelf of artifacts, blows dust off of them. One artifact in particular shines, a golden chalice encrusted with diamonds. It matches the faded drawing on the parchment. Greed in his eyes, Dan slowly reaches out for the chalice. As he does, the sound of angels singing rises faintly in the chamber. Dan's fingers are just about to close around the cup when...
Who are you?
Delaware Dan turns amazed. The statue, Saint Bummer, slowly comes to life, coughing and shaking off dust.
Who are you?
I am Saint Bummer of Palermo, the guardian of these treasures.
You're a saint? Seriously?
I am entrusted by Pope Julius in 1583 and powered by our Lord himself, to remain in its grotto, to guard its secrets, its relics from any who would raid it.
That's impossible. You've been here since 1583?
I have, and therefore I allow you to touch anything here. Indeed, before I allow you to leave this chamber alive, I have for you 3 questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
My first question, adventurer, do you have a sandwich?
A what?
Do you yield then?
No, I don't yield. I wasn't sure I heard you right. Did you say sandwich?
Indeed, a turkey with bacon, perhaps, or ham. Oh, or a Reuben, maybe.
Delaware Dan fishes into his pocket, pulls out something.
I've got a pemmikins, beef jerky.
I'll take it.
He rips the wrapper off and noisily chows down on the stick of beef jerky.
Boy, ooh, man, that's good.
So do I pass the first test?
Give me a minute here. Oh, I got something in my tooth here. Oh. You know, the Pope, that bastard, locked me in here with nothing but a Bible and one of those, what you call them, those round ball things with the little cross on top, the baby popes hold in their paintings. What are those things?
I don't know.
No, seriously, I've been here, 300 years?
More like 500, actually.
500? 500 years? Jeez, and look around you, man. What, you see any food? Huh? A wet bar? Anything?
Is one of those my second question?
No. One of those is not your second question? Jeez, get me out of here.
If I can get you out of here, can I take some of these treasures?
Pope Julius, what a tool. He's the same guy that tried to stiff Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel job. Guy cried on my shoulder one time.
I think I read that somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. So what are you anyway? A Mongol? What was a Hun? You don't look Hunnish.
I'm American.
I'm sorry, American? What's that?
Is that my second question?
No, that is not your second question. Jesus, can't a guy have I'm trying to have a conversation with you. Do you mind that? Is it too much trouble for you before you plunder a saint's final resting place for gold?
Is that?
That is not your second question.
Not my second question. Got it. Look, I'd be happy to talk to you as much as you want about anything, but I'm on kind of a time crunch here. I'm not the only one who's after these artifacts.
Oh, on a time crunch, are you? Oh, just I'm sorry. This would be watching a couple of minutes of conversation, like a couple of minutes of conversation once every 500 freaking years. Inconvenience you?
At the moment, actually, yes. So if we could just get to the 2 other questions.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Saint Bummer turns away from Delaware Dan to face us, the viewers, and literally steps out of the screen and walks into the audience for a moment. An elderly couple in one of the front rows jolts in surprise, spilling their popcorn, as Saint Bummer walks through several rows of theater seats as if he's a ghost, then addresses them directly.
Now, how about you? You have kids? Huh? Grandkids?
What are you doing?
I'm a saint. I got Catholic powers. I can do anything I want. Now answer the question. You, kids? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes.
And grandkids? What, huh?
Yes, three.
And are they like this guy whenever they come to visit? Yeah, don't want to talk, not interested in your stories or that pain in your sciatica? Hey,
Wait, I have a question for you.
Saint Bummer turns back to the screen where Dan still stands. Dan's eyes seem a bit more friendly, some remorse there.
What was it like knowing Michelangelo?
You really want to know?
I do.
And you're not in a hurry.
I am, but, well, how often do you get to meet a real saint, much less such a great one? Besides, I figure you can take on anyone else who's likely to show up here.
A strong wind blows through the theater, followed by a divine light. Saint Bummer climbs back into the screen, sits down with Dan.
Well, let me tell you, the man loved to drink.
They go on conferring as friends, still surrounded by musty treasures as we fade out.
Whoa, how sweet was that?
So great.
How sweet was that?
That was fun. That was awesome.
That was so much fun to read. That was so much
I'm
fun
glad.
to read.
Okay.
Wonderful to watch. Well, that was our last reading, but stick around because we do have a talk back afterwards. And we also have Laura Livingston has something she'd like to share with us.
Laura.
Yeah, I would just like to say thanks to everybody for showing up. I know that this started out as a way to get together during the pandemic when people were looking for things to do. And we very much appreciate the writers, the playwrights who come on as our guests, the core of writers who've been writing with us all the time, and the audience, some of whom are the core of the audience who now are getting together to just have a great time appreciating each other, appreciating the art of writing, really letting each other know how much we appreciate. And this list of names here, people who have contributed financially to us during the pandemic and after to keep this time of, as Lisa says, just finding out what comes out of our fingers, out of our pens, out of our keyboards. We like Freestyle especially likes to thank the New York State Council on the Arts and the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs for their support. Thank you all for your in-person and financial support of this project.
It's been great. It's been real great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So everybody come on back. We have, we're going to take off in just a second. We have some websites on the chat that you can check out, both the wonderful things that Synergy's doing, things that we are doing here in New York City. You can go to Right Now afterwards and just have a grand old time. So it's been a great time. Lisa, been so much fun with you.
Oh, it's been great, Mike. It's our first time hosting together. It's a joy.
Yeah, thank you all. So the next one, the next right away is June 26th. We'll let you know about that. And in the meantime, we'll just see you next week.
Well, we have a talk back. So
All right.
if you'd like to stick around for that, please just keep your video on and we can chat about whatever anybody wants to chat about, how the writing session was. If you have any questions or comments for the writers, or we could talk about the jam. And let's begin.
How did we end up with 3 different plays where God's kind of a jerk? How did that happen? I'm a believing Christian, okay? Yeah, so somehow.
I was wondering that. I assume it's because of the angels, right? The suggestion of the angels put that in everyone's mind. But Laura, you had Garden of Eden even before that, right?
Yeah, I did.
And I asked for a saint. So,
I think, was it Janelle? Somebody, one of the people in the audience gave me Garden of Eden.
Yes.
And I was trying, you kind of fall into the trope that you already know. And I was thinking of like Milton, and it's better to be kicked out of Eden and be, but I was thinking, I don't know, for me, my characters were wondering, I think, why, when they do something that's wonderful and creative, it just makes life so hard. It just makes it so hard. That I think was kind of more what mine was, and that God was just inscrutable on that subject. Why this thing that we're driven to do that's beautiful just makes life so hard.
I was really taken with the philosophy of it, Laura. I thought it was really thought-provoking to try to understand the will of God when it is so seemingly contradictory.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You want to talk about the philosophy for a second? Okay, it's one of the things that you're reminding me of is I don't know if you've ever read a rather famous book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, or if you've heard of it. It was a huge bestseller back in, I think, the 90s or whatever. She used to be married to Martin Scorsese, actually. And one of the things that she says throughout the book sort of is that when we create, it's for some of us, it's a way to become closer to God, because then we're most like him. God, we know what it's like to create. And in fact, you often joke about being God when you're writing something, that you're in charge of everything. So it's kind of interesting. Does God want us to not be creative, or does he love it when we're creative? Because that's when we're closest to him. Let's solve that right here and now.
I mean, that's a great little philosophy, not a philosophy. What is it? A great little, but that.
It's a question, yeah. It's interesting.
When artists create, are they, with a small g, godlike, creating something?
Yeah, so.
And I wonder if that's one of the thrills about, subconsciously of creating something. Wonderful. What's her name again? What's the title of the book?
Oh, Julia Cameron. It's called The Artist's Way. And while you're looking that up, I just have another little niggling question while we're at it. If I behave in accordance with my value system, and my value system is the result of an upbringing over which I did not have direct creative control, can I be said to have free will?
I loved this conversation, and I think it's.
All right, I'm sorry. I thought that would be funny, and instead everybody's like.
No, I spend a lot of time reading and thinking about this, and I've been convinced that no, in fact, we do not have free will. We only think we do.
Well, I had read something about a philosophy professor who insisted to his class that there was no such thing as free will. And also, if you're late for class, you will be docked a full grade point if it happens more than twice or something. It's like, wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah. Well, from an atheist perspective who does not believe that there is a God that can interfere with the natural events of the universe, then one has to just think of things as a series of cause and event action tracing all the way back to the beginning of time. And if that's the case, there's no room for free will in there.
Yeah, I'm glad we solved that in 45 minutes and a 7-page.
But going back to your other, the other thread about creativity and God, I mean, there's certainly, whether it's God or not, there's that place that we enter when we're lucky and we're creating, or, playing basketball or whatever, or walking, you know, where we feel at one with something greater than ourselves. And so I think, I don't know if God wants that, but something seems to allow it.
I'm just thinking, are there, I mean, like Milton, his hero is Lucifer, you know. It seems to me that, you know, in Paradise Lost, that, and I'm just trying to think, are there well-known works of literature where God is wonderful, is it just a great, cool, or do we just have more fun and kind of being against the all-powerful, you know, fighting against it? Is that, I mean, like I was saying, I felt I was falling into a trope, making God be throwing people out all the time, you know, being awful.
There's a whole section of Barnes and Noble that's full of books where God is the good guy.
Are they good? Are they good? I mean, or
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another question.
They are the good book.
yeah.
It's kind of true though that in movies and books and such that the villains are always more interesting and more fun than the heroes, right? And like if you think of God as all good, there's just not a lot of dramatic interest there. And so so the villain with whom you have more fun tends to be more developed and sympathetic.
Yeah, even in like Christian, whenever anybody makes a movie about Jesus in the Gospels or whatever, the role that the biggest star actress wants to play is Mary Magdalene, because, you know, the hooker who becomes or the prostitute who then becomes a, you know,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
one of the
who do you want to be, Dracula or Van Helsing?
right, yeah. So we've got the furthest to go characters like that. I'm sorry, my this got stuck somewhere. I was afraid I was going to yank it out of my ears. So.
It was interesting how each of the stories had some type of philosophical issue using God as a metaphor to explore it.
Mhm.
I think that that may have been our audience. They gave us they gave me Garden of Eden. They gave us angels singing. I don't know, Bill, you came in of your own free will with the patron saint of. You brought that.
Will.
Well, not really of his own free will.
No.
I'm just a result of a biological brush fire that started 3 billion years ago. Because when I knew we were approaching that, like last time when we rehearsed it a week ago, when it was time for me to ask for something, I realized I didn't prepare anything to ask for, you know, and so yesterday and earlier today I was thinking what could be an interesting suggestion to ask for. But then when I got patron saint of miserables or whatever, the new Indiana Jones movie is coming out soon, and there's a lot of similarity in the thing that I wrote to in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. He goes into this chamber that has the Holy Grail in it, and there's this saint or this knight figure or whatever who's been in there for like 400 years guarding the Holy Grail, you know. So, and I thought that's a bummer. What he's just sitting there waiting for, you know. So that's what I kind of ran with.
It was a fun. It was fun to do with you too, Ken. It was just a fun scene to write or to do.
Mhm.
And I'm originally from Delaware, so not Indiana Jones, Delaware down.
That's where it came from. Well, I love it when sometimes this happens where the plays all have this real commonality, and it's so powerful when it does happen. I love it.
With the Frankenstein book that I was being inspired by, that whole issue is very deeply embedded in that book to begin with. So the idea of, you know, creating life and competing with God as you do that, and the creature's relationship to Dr. Frankenstein as this godlike figure, ultimately disappointed in him for the way he's being treated by the one who created him and who you could argue owes him the most love, but instead he just abandons him to the world.
Yeah, and you're reminding me, I think that the full title of Mary Shelley's original novel was Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus.
That's right.
Which is, you know, dealing with a god, you know, so yeah.
Yay. We can keep chatting, but I'm going to stop the live stream, so everybody can say goodbye to the live stream.
Thanks for
Bye.
coming.
I'm gonna go stir the chili.